Whoa, okay, alright. Before you hit the dislike button, I am not going to say that this isn't going to be an incredible camera. I just have a few thoughts and feelings about the Canon EOS R5, and I'm kind of not buying into the hype. I don't want to discuss them in this video, please just hear me out. I think before we go any further though, I just want to try out this kicker light that I have from this is from Viltrox. I have a link down below in the description if you're interested. But this might kind of make for an interesting kicker light over here. So I'm just going to go and put that on my shelf and see what difference it makes. There we go. I wonder if that's made any difference at all. I guess we'll see, won't we? So guys, everyone is completely buzzed about the Canon EOS R5. And I think rightly so based on these specifications. Probably going to be Canon's biggest launch for quite some time. It's going to shoot 8K RAW. It's going to shoot 120 frames a second at 4K. Like, that is insane. It's going to have 5-axis internal IBIS among a whole host of other crazy specs. But I'm still not going to buy one. Okay, so I want to get myself straight here because I do think that it is incredible to see the amount of innovation that is going into this camera. Canon has sort of been resting on its laurels for the last few years. The Canon EOS R was an amazing release, but it definitely took time for everyone to consider just how much of an incredible camera that one is. So everyone is rightly excited for the EOS R5. Competition is great. Sony has been innovating in the camera space a lot in the last couple of years, the last sort of 4 or 5 years, and it's great to see Canon coming in with some sort of new punches and leveling up the game. But as I said, I do think that people are sort of overhyping this camera to a degree. I think it's going to be an incredible tool, but I don't think it's going to be for everyone. Alright, so I do want to briefly talk about this 8K video. Now, 8K video in a camera of this form factor, this size, like, we're looking at sort of prosumer level cameras in the DSLR and mirrorless form factor. To be able to shoot 8K video, that is just unreal. Now, the biggest caveat that I see personally with this is most of our computers can't handle 8K video. I edit all of my videos, you can see it behind me, on my 2016 MacBook Pro. Like, this was moderately spec'd out, so it's a fairly powerful machine, and I don't shoot on my Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera in RAW at all because this computer just cannot handle it. So I have to admit, I do think it's fairly crazy everyone's going mental over 8K video when like 95% of the people won't even be able to process it. That's not to say that having the option isn't great, but I just don't think that it's as much of a game changer as people think it is. Alright, so that now brings us on nicely to price and basically who this camera is for. So I think based on the spec sheet, there is pretty much no way this camera is going to come in anything below about $4,500 to $5,000. I think everyone is pretty much in agreement that they would totally cannibalize the sales of their cinema cameras if they released this camera for anything around the sort of $3,000 price mark. So that brings us on to who this camera is for. Like, that is an expensive piece of kit. This is my Blackmagic Pocket Cinema rig. I don't have my monitor on here at the moment, but this entire rig for a cinema grade camera came to about $2,500 US. So the fact that this camera is going to be almost double in price pretty much discounts it for most independent videographers and creators. In my opinion, who this camera is for is people really looking to bring their production quality up a notch. In my opinion, it's going to be used for a lot of B shots in interview shoots and that type of thing. Maybe it's going to be a perfect camera in addition to something like a C200. The quality is going to be incredible, but the price tag is going to match that quality. And that personally is one of the main reasons I'm just not going to be picking up the Canon EOS R5. I'm perfectly happy right now with my Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera as my main primary camera, and then my 90D to sort of back it up. These are just great content creation cameras. I think for filmmakers, the R5 is going to be a top-notch option, but for most independent freelancers, content creators, internet video makers, I just don't think it's going to be the right choice. That is my thoughts and opinions on this camera. I'd be super curious to know if you are going to pick up the Canon EOS R5, if it's around about that price point. Are you going to invest in that as an option? Let me know in the comment section down below. I would absolutely love to hear your thoughts. I'll be down there answering questions as always. Drop the video a like if you have got to this point, and if you enjoy content on videography, content creation, that type of thing. Subscribe to the channel for future videos, and I'll catch you guys next time.